You can't make this up.
We are also reporting today that a group of CEOs of the top American retailers, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, had a private meeting with Trump on Monday. They had plenty to say, but there was one warning that stuck out. Empty shelves, they said. Empty shelves in American stores as soon as this summer because of Trump's actions.
It is that meeting in the Oval Office on Monday that we learned about, and other reporters did as well, that really apparently caught the president's attention. And I am told that business leaders, the Business Roundtable and others have been reaching out to White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and other advisors here, trying to get a meeting with the president, trying to convey to him in real terms the real fallout of some of this uncertainty, some of these tariff policies. And it was that empty shelves comment, we are told, that really caught the president's attention. Of course, you can see why. The whole idea that we would have interruption in the supply chain, sort of like we all saw in the pandemic, simply because of his policies, is something that would be difficult for the White House to endure. So that is one of the reasons we are told that he changed his posture. It's interesting.
So what Donald Trump has done is just given every single one of his supporters a crash course lesson in what tariffs are and how they actually impact them. The Democrats were right. We were telling you all this was a bad economic policy for Donald Trump to do. And it literally took the CEOs of those companies to meet with him and look him dead in his eyes and say, "Sir, if you can't make this up."
Going to be a food shortage. Not maybe. It's already in motion. And here's what you need to know if you live in the city. Last week, the president declared a food supply shortage and lifted the tariffs on fertilizers to soften the blow. And here's why. Since late last February, the Strait of Hormuz has been nearly closed. And about a third of the world's fertilizer moves through that one waterway. When the president starts dropping tariffs, you know there's a real problem. So why does fertilizer matter to you? Fertilizer helps crops grow. Less fertilizer, less crops. And smaller harvests. Smaller harvests mean less food. And when there's less food to go around, the prices go up, and that's a shortage. It doesn't start with empty shelves. It starts with climbing prices. And here's the part people miss. Grocery stores are not warehouses. They hold about 3 days worth of food, and they depend on constant deliveries. The shelves look full because deliveries never stop. Disrupt the deliveries, and those shelves empty fast. So what gets expensive first? Not everything at once. Imported and out-of-season produce goes up first because it rides on global shipping. Then eggs and chicken because feed costs hit them fast. And dairy and meat as the feed keeps getting pricier. Grains and bread come out last. That's next year's harvest, and the UN says it's going to be even smaller. How do you get ahead of it? Decide as a family how much of a buffer you feel comfortable with. I feel comfortable with 3 months. You might be comfortable with 2 weeks. Either way, that's your call. Then build up from there. Buy what you already eat and just buy in depth. If you like peanut butter, buy 5 cans of peanut butter. And then look to shelf-stable items. Pasta, beans, rice, oats. Every week buy a little bit extra and you'll start building out a stockpile over time. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll never be that person panic buying when shit hits the fan. We knew this was coming. Follow for more practical tips.
I don't think we have any food. I don't think we have any food. I think we are in a food shortage, and they are lying to us. I think that's why FDA decided to let meat companies sell lab-grown meat, and I think that's why all of a sudden this parasite is coming up. Because when our grocery stores' produce sections are empty, we are going to be like, oh, because of the parasite. When in reality, we don't have no food. The fertilizer never came. Y'all don't remember months ago, the farmers were saying they need fertilizer, they need fertilizer, they need fertilizer. The strait has been closed. And it maybe it opened for 32 hours total. And maybe 5 or 7 ships got through. I guarantee there was no fertilizer on there. Why you think all of a sudden the White House is gated up? Because when 300 million people figure out that we don't have no food, y'all know the rest.